call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could please stay standing for a moment. I would just like to recognize the communities in Texas that were affected by the incredible flooding, and for all of the lives that were lost, especially all the children. Everybody in Mount Clemens, I'm sure, is sending our thoughts and prayers with all of those families. Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Calhoun.
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Fournier. Here. Kraut.
Here.
McGarity. Here. Rick.
Here.
Yor.
Here.
Announcements, acknowledgments, communications, and reports. I don't see anything listed on the agenda. Does anybody from the commission have anything? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to adoption of the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Questions or comments about the agenda? Call the roll, please.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Kraut.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Yor. Yes.
Okay, moving to public participation. This is the portion of the meeting where we invite the public to address the commission. We ask that you come to the microphone, you give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 3-minute rule. If you would like to come on up and speak.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. I was in my yard last week when this young man pulled up in his car and stopped. He worked for the post office, and he took umbrage that Ruthie Stevenson is keeping us from parking in the neighborhood. We all know who you are. So he says, we deliver your mail, we get cursed out and all of this. And I said, but yes, that's part of your responsibilities, delivering the mail. But it's not your responsibility to use our community neighborhood as an all-day parking lot. We can't use events, we can't have people over, we can't have people stop by just on a general basis. And how do you think that's fair? But it's not fair for us to have to go somewhere else to park. I said, but when it was on Robertson, west of Gratiot, they put a stop to that years ago. And and every time you turn, if you look on Robertson, no parking signs all the way down the middle. If you look on Clinton River Drive, no parking sign. That was because of the post office. And here you want to vote on allowing our community street to be made into an all-day parking lot. They come in as early as 8 o'clock in the morning and sometimes don't leave out till 8 o'clock at night. And it's not fair. Our streets don't get swept. The snow doesn't get done. And anytime they have ambulances and things have difficulty and fire engines can't go down the street, they have to turn around and go around the block to do anything on this end of Robertson and Bain because of all the cars. Please consider this second attempt at reading to make this an all-day parking lot.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission?
Yes, my name is Abe Jenkins, and I live at 450 Clinton River Drive. Again, the last meeting, I gave my number, but never did get an answer about the bathrooms down there at Shady Side, the bathrooms and the running water. And another thing, and I'm gonna keep on coming here until I get some about these deers. I'm tired of cutting the grass and walking in deer mess and looking out the window, deers all in my backyard. I know they may be nice and cuddly to you guys, but you wouldn't want these deers eating up your wife's plants and stuff like that, and cutting the grass and you stepping in deer mess. I mean, this is not like I said, it's not a petting zoo. And then the people that cut the grass over there, they got to get corn husks up there before they can even cut the grass. Because the people think, oh, wow, my God, there's deer. There's deer. Yeah, but they wouldn't want that in. They wouldn't want that. You're not supposed to be feeding these. This is a wild animal.
Mr. Jenkins, we did respond at the last meeting. There was a response to your questions in our response. So it's on the last minutes, but we'll get you a copy of that.
Okay. And also, this last past April, I went up there. I understand that the people busy, but this is July now, and every single time I go there, I have you guys' tree, which is out there on the island, trim. It's almost a year. It be going into the year, and if you think it's just me, I have my neighbor here. He had a contact over a year ago. They still haven't trimmed this tree. He'll probably tell you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission?
Well, this is my first time here. My name is Paul Wakaluk at 45 Lindsay Drive. I've been complaining about my tree for several years now. And ever since they put that new sidewalk in, that tree has risen. When I first moved in 2017, that ground was flat, where I can take my lawnmower with no problems. Now I'm having little problems. The tree is dying. City workers, they say the tree is healthy. I don't know what they're looking at. They say see leaves. And I have called you before, Mayor, about this tree. That, it's caving in. There's a lot of ants in that trees. And they're also coming in through my driveway. And and they send me a paperwork to, what do they call it? A permit, to go cut it down myself. What's my tax dollars being raised every year? And I'm not getting no service. I complained about this tree for a while. Yeah, it's got a lot of leaves, but it's also dying at the same time because I got a lot of dead branches. I got to pick up every dead branches every time we get a heavy windstorm or what have you. And I'm getting tired of it. Nothing's being done. But my tax is going up. I'm a senior. I should be, the tax should be a lot less than what I'm paying right now. Our taxes are just going up and up and up. What's our taxpayer? What are we paying for? We're paying the police, the fire, the school, Department of Public Works. I don't see no change. Other change I'm getting is my taxes going up. I'm not getting no permit, to build onto my house or nothing. All I know is the police sit in their station. Department of Public Works ain't doing nothing. The only service we get is our trash pickup. What's wrong with the city? All the other cities, they got these big roll cans, for our garbage, our recycle. We get nothing. That's what's wrong with this city. You ask for help, we don't give it. It's something you all need to think about.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time?
Shelby Holderbaum, 53 Lafayette. So I purchased my home in August of 2019. 11 days after I purchased it, I had an insane amount of sewer water in my basement. Catastrophic flood, insurance claim number 1, where my entire basement was gutted, fully finished. We, not knowing that there was a issue in the city of Mount Clemens, stupidly, after paying $5,000 in remediation, spent God knows how much fixing our basement, beautiful flooring, new drywall, to only flood again after that, $1,000 in cleaning and sanitizing. And then again after that, insurance claim number 2, where we had to again gut our brand new basement. $16,000 in repairs to fix our sewer line that we were hopeful might minimize the amount of water coming into our basement. We spent thousands on repairing our pipes underneath our laundry room in our basement, hoping that that would maybe prevent the amount of water that was coming into our basement. Flood again, 7 floods. On the 18th, we had over a foot of sewer water in our basement. The water was so high and so powerful that things we thought were in the safe zone fell. I came home from work to over a foot of sewer water in my basement. I have kids. I spent the very last weekend of my maternity leave 2 years ago cleaning up sewer floods. I cannot accept that the 4.5 inches of rainwater that we got as an act of God again after 7 floods. It is insulting to be told that we have a rain barrel program. It's insulting. It's insulting to be told to file an insurance claim, because if I file any more claims, guess what? No coverage. If my house burns down, SOL. It is quite literally ruining my entire life, being turned upside down every single time we have water in our basement. And the fact that the city knows that it's an issue, and you come through and you put these restrictive flow drain covers on, telling us that that's the solution after being told that water is coming up into basements before we even had the flooding that we had 2 weeks ago. It's not a solution. It is absolutely not. And I truthfully don't know how much more you can expect your residents to take. I am tired of cleaning feces and God knows what off of my belongings.
Thank you.
We deserve more.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gloria Jesse. I'm on 61 Lafayette, and I don't need 3 minutes. I back everything she said. I got a letter from my claim saying that the city is unaware of the issue. That's an outright lie. You guys know what the problem is. It's a combined system that needs to be uncombined. So when will that happen? That's what we want to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Lyons, 11 Lafayette. Piggyback on what she said, this is multiple times. I lost oak bedroom sets, living room sets, because I use my basement. I am not going to be like all the other people that stack stuff on milk crates because of the city's lack of separating Exalta and the old Ford plant from our sewage system. It is all combined into one, and that is what is flooding our neighborhood.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission?
I'm Suzanne, and I'm at 17 Lafayette.
Suzanne, can you give us your last name for the record, please?
Fraser.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's just what everyone else has to say. Every time it rains, you're afraid to go in the basement. I've had thousands of dollars of things ruined. It's cost me thousands of dollars to have this stuff cleaned up. And every house on our street flooded this last rainstorm we had. Every single house. So it wasn't here or there. Every house is flooded, and it's heartbreaking. And it's costing all of us a lot of money.
Thank you.
May I approach again?
Sure.
Just on it again. My insurance company informed me today that me and my wife have had over 25 years on cars, houses, rental insurance back when we were young. We've had them, and they said if we do not dig up our front yard and put a backflow, they will cancel us.
I'm Dorothy Kamalski. I live at 52 Lafayette. I've been there for 47 years. I moved in the beginning of August of 78, and 2 weeks after was my first flood. Thigh high, worms, everything. And it's continued ever since. And I don't have insurance. I have to pay every time this happens. It's a health issue. It's disgusting. I was so depressed one time, it happened in August, I canceled Christmas. It's so bad. If you people could put yourself in this spot, every time it rains, you're afraid to go downstairs. I mean afraid. You go, okay, I gotta go. I gotta look. And you don't want to. And it happens. This is not acceptable. But we got our tax bill. And what is the solution to this? This is not a way to live. It's sickening. It's unhealthy. We need help. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and move to administrative responses to issues or questions raised during previous meetings. Mr. Shipman.
Little slow loading.
Sorry, there you go.
At the June 16, 2025 commission meeting, during public comment, the following questions were asked. Can the city commission address the library board about me, Angela Cope, not being treated equally and fairly by the Mount Clemens Public Library staff? Ms. Cope's complaints were sent to the library board by Mayor Kropp. The board chair acknowledged receipt of those complaints. Second question was, how can I reach someone in the utility department after hours about the smell coming from the retention pond? When I call the non-emergency number for the sheriff department to notify the on-call utility employee and dial 8, no one answers. If you have a water or sewer emergency during our regular business hours from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, please call the utilities department at 586-469-6892, extension 502. If you are unable to speak with someone, please leave a detailed message and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Any other time, day or night, call the sheriff department at 586-469-5151 and they will dispatch a utilities department worker to your house.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to approval of minutes.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Support.
Questions or comments about the past minutes? Call the roll, please.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Okay, moving to general business 9A, approval to conduct a carnival at 237 North River Road. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the request by W.G. Wade Shows Incorporated to conduct a carnival at 237 North River Road from July 17th, 2025 to July 20th, 2025.
Support.
Mr. Shipman?
An application was received by W.G. Wade Shows Incorporated to hold a carnival at 237 North River Road from July 17, 2025 through July 20th, 2025. City Ordinance 20.020 requires City Commission approval before a carnival permit can be issued. All the required documents and fees have been submitted to the clerk's office, but the issuance of the permit is subject to final approval by the Mount Clemens Fire Department and the Building Department.
We do have a representative here from W.G. Wade, and so if anybody does have any questions, we can we can pepper him with questions. If not,
Where is this on North River Road?
Gibraltar,
Pardon?
the parking lot of Gibraltar.
Gibraltar? Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I was gonna ask too, because I thought so, but. Okay.
Anybody have any other questions? Okay, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Okay, 9B, approval of voting precinct renumbering.
I move to approve the renumbering of Precinct 9 to Precinct 5 in the city of Mount Clemens.
Support.
Mr. Shipman?
On April 11th, 2025, the Mount Clemens Election Commission adopted a resolution to change the number of Precinct 9 to Precinct 5 to establish sequential order for the precincts. Currently, Mount Clemens voting precincts are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. The renumbering of Precinct 9 to Precinct 5 will result in the following precinct numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The boundaries of Precinct 9 are comprised of the area within the city limits lying south of Clinton River and west of southbound Gratiot Avenue. These boundaries will remain the same, and the precinct will continue to operate at its current location in Seminole Elementary School at 1500 Mulberry Street. All affected registered voters will be sent notification of the precinct number change by first-class mail, and a notice will be published in the Macomb Daily and on the city's website.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Now I'll have to remember 5 instead of 9. It's mine, it's mine. Okay.
I'm happy about it, Kathy. Makes it a lot more logical. Anybody else? All right, call the roll, please.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Okay, 9C, approval to enter into an agreement with the Michigan Department of Transportation for the pavement resurfacing of Hubbard.
I move to adopt the resolution and approve the contract between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Mount Clemens for the pavement resurfacing of Hubbard Street, MDOT contract number 25-5311 as presented, and to authorize the city manager and public services director to sign and enter into the agreement.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Shipman.
Enclosed for your review is the Surface Transportation Program contract along with the municipal resolution for the pavement resurfacing of Hubbard Street from Eldridge to North Avenue. This is a contractual document between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Mount Clemens, which outlines the performance of the project and the project costs. The total cost for the repair of Hubbard Street is $497,300. Federal Surface Transportation Fund shall be applied to 81.85% of the applicable project cost. The remaining balance of $91,897 will be funded by the city's Major Streets Fund. Please be advised that this contract has been reviewed by the city attorney. The attached resolution is necessary in order to specifically name the officials who are authorized to sign the said contract.
Okay, questions?
Seems like a pretty good deal.
Go ahead. She was just saying it was a good deal.
Spencer's going to say, this is by my house, and I just went through this on the other half of Hubbard. That's what you were going to say.
Well, not
wasn't
anymore.
it?
You moved.
No, this is great, and as Commissioner Fournier said, what a great deal. So, thanks to everyone at the city who worked to make this happen, and I am excited because Hubbard could use some work.
I just would add that these types of programs through MDOT and the Surface Transportation Program are federally funded.
Right.
They come through either SEMCOG or MDOT and are something that we usually, annually apply for to make sure that we can do streets that we wouldn't normally be able to just take out of the general fund. So these make these kind of projects possible. So anytime you talk to our congressional people, our congressman, whoever our new congressman will be, congresswoman will be, making sure that they put an emphasis on transportation dollars coming down to local projects. And we need to make sure that that is a priority for those candidates. And I would just encourage everyone to, when you speak to those people, local communities know what roads they need to fix, but if the money doesn't come down to us in those types of ways, the local revenue is never going to pay for those roads.
That's right.
So we need to make sure that our representatives in Congress, Senate, and at the state level are aware of our priorities.
Have we applied for this before?
Not for Hubbard, yes. Well, we had the other
No.
portion,
Right, yeah, no, we're not applied for that.
not this section.
Oh,
So we got it on the first try, I guess.
yeah.
So, all right. Anybody else? Now that I'm off my soapbox. Call the roll, please.
Garrity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor. Yes. Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes. Okay, moving to purchases and payments.
Move to approve purchases and payments of invoices as presented.
Anyone?
Support.
Thank you.
Hiccups.
Mr. Shipman, is there a cover letter that needs to be read or anything?
No, but we do have Maria Sedke with us. I think everybody knows Maria by now, so Maria's going to come up and talk about the lift station that's on here and what they do and the age of this and how it desperately needs to be replaced. This just so happens, this is Maria's wheelhouse right here. She does everything, but this is right there, so.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Yep, this is a pump station that's been in the ground. Sanitary pump station was put in 1975, so it's 50 years old. Back then, it was popular to build these what they called can pump stations. They're literally metal chambers that they put underground, and they've got all the pumps on all the equipment down there. And the idea is you just go down and everything's in one spot. Unfortunately, metal rusts. And after 50 years, this pump station is very much rusted. The pumps are past their age. All the equipment's past its age. The mag meter doesn't work. It needs replacement. And these were very popular in the 70s, but they've gone kind of out of favor, and they're now being replaced by submersible pump stations. As Greg mentioned, I probably have replaced almost a dozen of these in the last 15, 20 years, everywhere in this area. They're just out of, they've reached their life. This is a big pump station. You've got two pumps, each is about 2,600 gallons per minute, so it's a big pump station. So the idea is to put a new submersible pump station. The lot is pretty big, so the idea is to put one in front of it, build it all while we maintain this pump station in service. That will reduce the cost because wouldn't have to do a lot of bypass pumping while we're building it. And at the last minute, kind of do all the hookups, test it all, make sure that it works, and at the last minute, do the hookups and the switch, and then abandon the existing pump station. So the plan right now is to design it, but it approves this in the next year, and construct it next year. And it'll take about a year to construct it.
So summer of 26, it'll
Summer
start.
of 26, we hope. Yep, if we can go out to bid. If we can get all the permits, we'll go out to bid in January. 2 months to bid it, get the bids in from the contractors, and then start in the spring. Yep. Construction will probably take a year just to get all the equipment and get it in place. Any questions?
Does Eagle even allow these types of pump stations any longer?
I don't know any manufacturer that even builds them anymore. So there's just, it was something they tried in the 70s and it made sense, and it's kind of.
So this is probably another one of those situations where Lenny's workers are probably making parts for the pump station.
And anytime you have to actually now go into this tomb, so to speak, to work on it. And the idea is when we put the new pump station, you'll just lift the pumps out with a crane and work on them on the surface and put them back down. So it'll be a lot safer with the new pump station. So you don't have to climb into the tomb. We'll add a new generator, new controls, SCADA, the whole thing as part of this.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? She had me at safer.
Yes, for
She had me a tomb.
The two, exactly.
If you go in there, you'll understand the term too. Take a tour.
Yeah. Let's not do that tour. All right. Anybody else? Call the roll, please.
Rick.
Thank you, Mary.
Yes.
York.
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
All right, moving to consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
So dramatic. Call the roll, please.
York.
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
All right, city manager's report, Mr. Shipman.
A building permit has been issued for a new 1,380 square foot single-family home at 75 Church Street. This brings the total to 5 new single-family home permits in 2025. The Planning Commission is meeting Tuesday, July 8th at 7 p.m. to review a tabled special land use request from McRest to allow for a men's homeless shelter in a vacant building at 205 South Main Street that was a former insurance office. Many road construction and repair projects are underway throughout the city, and there are more to come. We would like to thank everyone for their patience during these projects as we realize the inconvenience that they can cause. Please slow down and drive with caution through these construction areas. Over in recreation, we have the Summer Enrichment Program for youth, which is Thursdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Wilson Gym, located at 58 South Wilson Street, featuring arts, crafts, music, games, and fun learning activities. There is no cost to residents. Sign up today at mountclemensrecreation.org. Recreation in Mount Clemens needs you. Our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board is looking for citizens to bring their ideas and opinions on how our Parks and Recreation Department can better serve our city. You can also volunteer to help with any of our amazing programs or events. Sign up at mountclemensrecreation.org. For information on any of our programs and activities, please call our Recreation Director at 586-469-6800, extension 520. There's still plenty of time to throw your hat in the ring to run for the offices of Mount Clemens Mayor and Mount Clemens City Commission. Simply pick up a candidate packet from the city clerk's office, get 40 valid petition signatures, complete the application materials, and return everything to the city clerk by Tuesday, July 22nd at 4 p.m. Candidates will appear on the November 4th, 2025 general election ballot for 1 2-year term seat for mayor and 3 4-year terms for city commissioner. To qualify, candidates must be at least 18 years of age, a registered voter, and a resident of Mount Clemens for at least 365 days. Our community events, we have the Uptown Friday Night Concert, Friday, July 11th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., featuring Tom Bartolome, which is funk, fusion, and jazz. That'll be on the main stage on North Walnut Street. And we have the Uptown Friday Night Concert, Friday, July 18th, featuring Credence, which is a CCR tribute band, again on the main stage on North Walnut Street. For information on anything to do with community events, call 586-469-4168.
Anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Shipman? Well done, I guess. All right, we'll move to the second opportunity for the public to address the commission. Again, we ask that you come to the microphone, you give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 2-minute rule.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. First of all, I take umbrage that you put such an important event into the consent agenda. Second reading and adoption of an ordinance to allow the establishment of residential parking zones. What this has done in our community is taken away the rights, roles, and responsibilities of a community. We're no longer a community. We have become a parking lot. We've become a parking lot. And this is not right. This is not right. So we don't care about the emergency vehicles being able to come down through there. We're not concerned about people having people over or whatever. It becomes a all-day parking lot from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. And that's not fair. That's not fair to the residents on Clinton River Drive, Rones, Bain, and parts of Meadle. You already got no parking signs on one side of the street. So you inhibited the residents of the city of Mount Clemens on these areas from being a community. Now we're just a parking lot.
In commissioner comments?
No.
I don't want to set a precedent.
No.
Because we will answer
Right.
questions at the next meeting. But if you
Yes.
want to address it,
Do it
you're
at
more than
commissioner
welcome
comments.
at commissioner comments. I know it's hard. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to commissioner comments. Commissioner Rick.
Thank you. First, thank you to all the residents that brought your issues here. Please continue to do so. We will continue to try and work on them. Sometimes the results of how we work it out may seem strange, but for example, there was a whole bunch of parking issues, and now there will be parking passes, which will go to residents, correct?
For free.
For free. And if the residents take all those passes, then there will be none available for anyone else. Is that correct?
Correct.
It is not always the most efficient way to do it, but practically speaking, what it will mean is only residents will functionally be able to park there.
And their guests.
And their guests. But whatever issues you have, please continue to bring them here. Your voices matter, and we will try to find ways to deal with it. Some of us have only been here a year, maybe 2 years in these positions, and sometimes government takes time to get stuff done. I know that's small comfort when you've been dealing with an issue for years and years. That's all I really have to say about that right now. We did take a tour before this of the new screw presses over in the wastewater treatment department. With those in place, that's going to save the city several $100,000 a year, which allows us to then address other issues as we move forward.
Thousands.
I'd also like to highlight a couple events that have been done in the city recently that are important to commemorating our history, both locally and nationally. I'd like to especially thank Commissioner McGarity and everyone involved for the Juneteenth program over at the Carnes Center, the entire DDA and everyone involved in the 4th of July fireworks, the Historical and Beautification Committee that came together for the Rose Garden talks, and thanks to the Crocker House for trying to host it, except for the flooding there also made us have to do a last-minute redirect to the DDA office. And one more long-standing Mount Clemens event I'd like to mention. The Santa Parade registration for participating in the Santa Parade is now open. You can find information at Mount Clemens Santa Parade. Just Google it. It'll be the first thing that comes up. Also, if you're interested in serving on one of our boards, committees, and commissions, there is information available on our website or at City Hall, and I encourage people to continue to find ways to serve in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Calhoun.
So first, I also want to thank everyone for bringing their concerns to this meeting. We sit on this side of the table, are residents, just like everyone else. And I just, we understand those who are experiencing flooding and other issues in the city. The city is working hard on these things. We are taking these concerns, we're bringing them up to city administration, and things are being done. But we also appreciate you coming and highlighting these things for us, and we'll continue working on them. Specifically on the postal parking, the city manager, the mayor, other members of this commission have worked really hard with the post office, with the federal government, to get them to, as soon as last week, to get them to put a stop to employee parking. And it's been found that they cannot do anything. They won't do anything. So if they're not willing to respect what residents want, they will have to respect the laws that we put in place. This ordinance, almost every second reading we've done since I've been on the commission has been under the consent agenda, and if there's been an issue for contention, we've pulled it off. But this ordinance, I think, and I'm confident, is the only solution that we have to this issue. I think wait 2 or 3 months and see the difference. People will, these parking passes, I believe, will work. As mentioned before, it's not the most convenient solution for you and your guests, but the city will adapt to make it as convenient as possible for residents to go about parking on the street with their guests. So a lot of work has been put into this, a lot of effort has been put in to try and get the post office to respect our residents. We just, in terms of parking, I believe this is the best solution. And that's why I voted yes. I also want to speak about the nurses that are out on strike at McLaren Macomb. They will be on strike for the next few days outside of the hospital. They have been working without a contract for quite some time. Some of these nurses and service group members in the bargain contract that the hospital has brought forward are being offered wages that are less than what the minimum wage will be next year. So I hope you'll support them. I heard, I was out there today and heard from a lot of people, many of whom are residents here in the city, about just how tough the working conditions are. And because they work in service to all of us residents, how that transitions into the quality of care that we can receive from one staff person dealing with several patients more than they can. So that's why I'm wearing this t-shirt, but I ask everyone to please support our nurses as they're out on strike this week. I also, not to steal your thunder, but the beautification is looking for several new members specifically. And so I want to encourage anyone who's interested in making our city a more beautiful place and putting on great events to join the beautification committee, or if you're interested in filing for city commission or mayor, doing so before July 22nd. Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, and Public Works. Screw press, sorry, we have a lot of the same stuff.
Sorry.
Screw press project was great to see. And just to talk to a few of the staff at the Public Works Department about the work that they've put in to keep the old equipment running. Want to thank City Manager, Lenny, and everyone in the Public Works Department for their hard work on this new project and their very hard work before this to keep things running. Public Works Department is working hard to keep our city running, and we value feedback, but they also deserve their props and they did a really great job on this. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner
Would
Dempsey.
you like to just skip over, because I'm not going to say everything
You gotta
that
have something
the two of
over
them have covered pretty much. So on a lighter note, I'd like to invite everybody to bring their children over to the Cracker House Museum. We have a storybook path that we developed, and basically it's based on a book that was written by one of our docents, Linda Patton, and it's called, the book is called If I Were a Child Living at the Cracker House.
Oh.
And it depicts the different rooms in the Cracker House and how children would be using those rooms back in the early 1900s, late 18. So it's in the front yard, and I think there may be a few to the side, but bring the children over. It's really interesting to see and to explain how different life was back then. So if you get a chance, please come visit us. And on that note, thank you for the fireworks. They were great. Appreciate everything you do, and the sponsors who have been for years sponsoring the fireworks, and God bless them that even when they're gone, their legacy lives on. So thank you. And that's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Fournier.
The fireworks were amazing, and thank you to everyone that was involved and to the sponsors. Special thanks to Lenny Bertrand. Lenny runs the sanitation and water departments, and he has had to deal with a lot of ancient equipment. And hopefully, as months go by, we keep getting a little bit more, trying to get back up. It just takes a lot of money, folks, and it takes a lot of time, and it's hard. But he stuck it out with us, thank God, and got us through all this. So the new screw press,
Yep, I know.
it's quite, it looks like, space type machinery. I mean, it's pretty impressive. So I hope we can continue to make improvements. As far as the people on Lafayette, I feel terrible for you. I am just, it's so upsetting. And there were so many people in this city that had flooded basements from this crazy rain that we did have. But this does seem like a chronic problem. And I know we'll talk about it and we will figure out, the main thing is, what is the cause, right? And that's what's got to be addressed if we can address it. And we will talk about it and we will get back to you with something for sure. It is a horrible thing to have to go through, and to have to go through it time after time is terrible. So hopefully we can figure this out. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner McGarity.
She shared, Commissioner, you shared a lot of my sentiments. The more I heard the stories of what happened on Lafayette Street, as well as other streets, as you stated, it does hurt. It happened to me. My basement had sewage water as well. Not this last rain, but I had a situation. We had to pull the walls apart, had black carpet, wall to wall with padding, pulled all that up, as well as things that you just don't want to throw in a garbage bag and take to your curb. So I agree wholeheartedly. What I love about this team is we'll come together to try to figure out what the challenge is and see the best route for it. It's a great team, great leadership. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's going to happen. So I understand, as one who walked in those shoes. I remember the next time it rained, it was scary to go down and not knowing what was going to happen. So my heart is to you, but together as residents in this fine city we live in, we're going to get through this, but we'll get through it together. It just won't happen overnight, right? Okay, all right. I did want to echo, Commissioner Eric always talks about committees. You all came tonight because you had a strong concern. Be a part of one of the committees. Go on the website and look at all the committees and just put your foot in there to be a voice, to be an ear, to give your suggestion and idea. That's how I started. And then listening to others as a team to come up with a solution. Because you can talk and talk and talk, but when you sit at a table and the minds start coming together, it'll click and we'll get an answer. So I encourage, out of 10 people, 5 should be on a committee. Just pick a committee and be on a committee, because we're all in this city together. We got to work together, right? Right. Okay. So the other thing was, I'm very troubled with those sewer concerns. Oh, well, it was the fireworks. I remember going to the fireworks in the 80s, and the last fireworks we had reminded me of the 80s. The streets, the grass, the courts up at the top, everyone was out. It used to look dim, but now it's more and more. Everybody just seems to be friendly. Everybody wants to, can I pet your dog? Sure, no problem. Can I buy your child an ice cream? Nobody was fussing and complaining in the long lines at the food trucks. It was beautiful. That's the city we live in. So I commend you for what you did in planning that. And this city is doing better and better and better and better because we all working together, enjoying each other, taking it all one day at a time. So the fireworks were nice, and I'm looking forward to the Friday night concerts, which are free. We working on parking. I know that was a conversation we were having about paying for parking because Mount Clemens, you can come down and enjoy. And right now, you don't pay a dime after 7 o'clock.
Six.
Yeah, so bring your family and stuff before you start getting charged because then it'll put some money into our pockets. So that's all. We just work together to make our city great, and together we can do it. I'm finished.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner York.
The best part about going last is they've all said it better than I could, so I won't repeat all that. I do often say I love to see people in the audience, so thank you for coming. It makes me sad that you all, many of you were here for the same thing, and we all feel for you. And again, thank you for coming here, even though you might have said it other places or picked up the phone or written letters, but when you come here, we all get to hear the same thing at the same time, and so that's helpful. So we do appreciate that. And on a lighter note, thank you for all the things everybody does to support the fun in Mount Clemens. I too enjoyed the fireworks. Just tonight we've talked about Juneteenth, the Cracker House, the Santa Parade, the Old Crowd, fireworks, and there's just something for everybody. So get involved, stay involved, and keep coming to meetings. Thank you.
Thanks. I want to first thank Mickey Weiss because the fireworks would not have happened without her.
Mickey.
Yes. She single-handedly was parking food trucks and directing sheriff and and moving barricades at the same time. And she is a superwoman. So I want to thank her, and also because I don't think what people understand is how expensive fireworks are. And she was able to get those completely covered by a donation from the Wayne and Joan Weber Foundation that has done that for the 30 years. Since 2012. Since 2012. Wow. For 13 years. So they've covered those costs year after year, and they're $29,000, about that, right?
For the whole show?
Yeah.
It's more like 35.
So yeah,
Wow.
$35,000 to $40,000 for the fireworks. So it's an expensive endeavor that we keep free for everyone in our community. I know several other communities that were surrounding us who had fireworks that night. There was entry fees in those communities, so I'm proud that we have kept that free. And we were also the Jars Cannabis sponsored the stage, so the band and the stage. So all that sound equipment is also very expensive because when you're sending sound across the river, you can't just bring your USB speaker out there. So that was expensive, and so we were proud that they stepped up and sponsored that. And then also Geno Surf sponsored. We were able to have DJ Godfather and to no charge for us as well because Geno Surf sponsored that. So make sure that you patronize, or if you're into such things, but if you get an opportunity to thank those businesses, please do so. I also want to thank the Beautification Committee because they have a new project that they just started, the 100 Sunflower Project, and they took nominations and they are attempting to put 100 sunflowers out there to commemorate people who are maintaining and doing a great job on their yards. And it was all community driven, so everybody who was nominated by residents. And so those sunflowers will begin showing up around town the week of July 21st. So if you know any of the Beautification Committee members, please thank them because they do this volunteer, right? They don't get paid, and they're doing this just to make Mount Clemens a better place. With that being said, again, I want to thank Mickey Weiss because she, don't give me that look. She shared the history of her family's involvement in the rose industry, and so that is now leading to an initiative by the Beautification Committee that is going to put a rose walk along Gratiot that's going to acknowledge all of the history of the rose industry that was once in Mount Clemens. And it's also going to acknowledge the Japanese Americans who dedicated their time to that the rose industry when they were in encampments. And so there's a lot of history there, and it's going to be a really neat initiative. So that being said, the Beautification Commission is a volunteer organization, and so they are looking to raise money. And they have levels that you can give to be a part of this Rose Walk project. If you give a donation from $50 to $99, you'll be a part of the petal donation. And it goes all the way up to the bouquet donation of $2,500 or more. So there's a lot of different ways that you can financially give. And there's also, ways, I'm sure, when the project is actually happening, when they're doing the bulk of the work, that they would love to have other people's hands in the ground, because it's going to take a lot of work to get this project done. So if you have any interest in the Mount Clemens Rose Walk project, please make sure that you call the city manager's office, and we will give you the contact information for the Beautification Commission. But you can also follow them on Facebook. I don't believe they have an Instagram, do they? We'll go with just follow them on Facebook if you can, and if not, we'll get you their contact information if you call City Hall. With that, I will. Oh no, sorry. That's what happens when I get off my list. I have a coffee talk tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. at John's Family Grill. I have a coffee talk, but Mickey Weiss. Today's your day, Mick. Mickey Weiss will actually be stepping in, and she has all the good news as well that she can share at that coffee talk. And so she's going to hold down the fort for me, but it is at John's Family Grill at 9:30. To the Lafayette homeowners, if we could wave a magic wand and make that better immediately, we would. And that is not an excuse, all of these things have been, the infrastructure of this city has been something that we are an old city. And if we were to replace every road, we know it would cost over $80 million. If we were to replace every road that we know needs to be maintained, it would cost us over $80 million. If we replace every pipe in the ground that we know needs to be replaced, what was the number?
$200 million.
$200 million. Our annual general fund budget is $14 million. I get it. Again, if I could fix everything immediately, we would. And we know that we have to prioritize things, and we know we have to. And that's why we have a strategic plan, and that's why we're trying to fix the things that we know we can get grant money for. And that's why in the last 2 years, we got, I'm looking, over $100 million in grant money, because we're trying to make sure that we can do the projects that if we can get grant money from outside, we do. We understand the struggle, and it keeps me up at night. It does. Because we know, and every time it rains, we were texting on yesterday night, yesterday, because it was raining where we were by my cottage, and you're by your house. It was raining like cats and dogs, and we were worried about all of you. We care, and we will try, and we have been trying. And I know every time it rains and every time your basement backs up, it feels like we're not, and I apologize. But we will keep trudging along to try to get those things fixed. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good night, everyone.